This is News 3 Now at 10.
Thank you for joining us tonight. 5 people are in the hospital after a carbon monoxide incident this afternoon at a Mount Horeb daycare.
Officials say 60 people, including 54 students, were inside the Hearts and Hands Children's Center on Ridgeview Road during this incident. The fire department says crews were using a propane-powered floor machine on the gym floor there. They did have a carbon monoxide monitor, but it did not go off. 3 children showed mild symptoms of carbon monoxide poisoning, while 5 adults who were working on the building were hospitalized. The initial call came in as a mass casualty incident.
Mass casualty event for us is anything that has over 5 patients. So with all of the given people that were in the building, it's a mass casualty incident for us. Our priorities are to check those that are most seriously affected, which were the workers. But we also need to have fire crews be aware that there's elevated levels, so we need to take precautions, wear air packs as we go in.
Fire officials say one of the workers hospitalized was in critical condition but could not confirm the conditions of the other 4.
It was a scary situation that officials say could have been much worse. Madeline O'Neill was on scene earlier today and brings us reaction from parents. Maddie?
The Hearts and Hands Children's Center is safe to be in again, according to fire officials who ventilated the building earlier today. Mount Horeb's fire chief says they're very lucky that the one construction worker felt his symptoms early, so workers knew to evacuate children. That's a sentiment echoed by parents as well.
I was very scared. I was freaking out, actually.
As a parent, emergency lights can bring all kinds of thoughts to your head.
The worst case scenario, I mean, I had no idea what to expect.
Harley Pavlik is relieved to have her daughter Raylan back in her arms.
I was actually on my way home and saw that there's a cop car standing there, and I was just going to keep going by, but then I saw all the fire trucks, so I pulled around and they said carbon monoxide, and so I quick snatched her up.
Other parents say they learned of the carbon monoxide from an emergency alert, including father of 3, Brendan Corrigan.
We have high confidence in what they do here, and just the fact that they've got instant notification on everything, that and they told us everyone was out of the building, everyone was safe. I mean, yeah, we don't have any reason to believe it'd be any different.
In a situation that could have been much different, were the children not evacuated in a timely manner. Parents are happy their thoughts can turn to the rest of the day.
I just want to get her home, get her out of the sun, monitor her, but she seems like she's fine.
Probably get home and stay inside, maybe get some ice cream.
The Mount Horeb fire chief says carbon monoxide poisoning can be more severe in children who may not feel symptoms until later. Symptoms like feeling lethargic, headaches, nausea. Fire officials did say that parents were notified of those symptoms to keep an eye out for. Again, 54 children were tested. About 3 had to be treated on scene, but all were released home to their families tonight.
And be sure to stay with News 3 Now and Channel3000.com for the latest updates on this developing story, or download our free news app, available now in your app store.
Madison police say a woman has turned herself in for the fatal shooting of a 25-year-old man on the north side yesterday afternoon. Police say 22-year-old Heaven Grant approached detectives on the scene of the shooting on East Bluff. She told officers she had recently broken up with the victim. Grant reportedly pulled into a parking lot, exchanged words with the victim, and later shot him as he tried getting into her vehicle. The victim ended up back in the car he was traveling in with at least one other person. That driver stopped on North Sherman Avenue after seeing firefighters in the area and went to ask them for help.
There is still an active investigation in Sheboygan tonight after an officer-involved shooting this morning that left one person dead. It happened just before 6 a.m. Police say they responded to a call about an armed man threatening a woman. When officers arrived, the police chief says the suspect turned to the officer and charged at him with 2 weapons.
The officer attempted to disengage by retreating backwards and displayed his taser. The officer ordered the subject to stop and continued to retreat while attempting to deploy his taser. The subject continued to chase the officer, forcing the officer to transition to his firearm and discharge his firearm at the subject.
The chief says the officer did attempt life-saving measures, but the suspect died from his injuries. The Dane County Medical Examiner has identified the man who was recovered from Lake Kaganza on Tuesday. He is 58-year-old Ricky Strand of Stoughton. The medical examiner's office says he was boating with friends on the lake and reportedly jumped from the boat on Saturday evening. An autopsy suggests the death was an accidental drowning. Additional testing is underway at this time.
Well, the heat is on, and it'll hang around for the holiday. Let's go to meteorologist Dana Fulton now with our first warn forecast. Dana?
It's going to hang around through the holiday, into next week, and likely into the following week as well. A lot of sunshine along with that, and a little bit of humidity. Here's the time lapse from our WIC TV sky cam today. A few clouds building in, and a really nice sunset just a few hours ago. Temperatures today climbing to the upper 80s. We did hit a high of 89 in Madison, so just shy of that 90-degree mark. But heat index readings were in the mid to low 90s, and we're expecting a very similar setup for tomorrow. Highs will be in the upper 80s. Another very warm and humid day with a slight chance for a shower or thunderstorm developing, mainly between 2 and 5 tomorrow. Temperatures this weekend will climb into the low 90s, and then for the following week we stay above average with a few more rain chances building in. But we'll take a closer look at your full 10-day in just a few minutes. Eric?
Dana, thank you. Wisconsin's health officials have some advice for people this holiday weekend. Stay home. According to a news release from DHS, nearly 20% of total coronavirus cases in Wisconsin were identified in the last 2 weeks. Half of all positive cases came in the last 5 weeks. And new orders are in effect in Dane County as confirmed cases in the county have now surpassed 2,000. Almost 1,000 of those cases remain active. Nearly 20% of total COVID-19 cases in the state have tested positive. As we said, in the past couple of weeks, there were 530 new cases confirmed today alone as the state moves toward a total of 30,000.
Rock County health officials say they will be staying in phase 2 of its reopening plan after not meeting the threshold to move into the 3rd phase. They say Rock County is seeing an increasing number of young people who are becoming infected. Of the 223 confirmed cases in June, 60% were under the age of 40 and 25% were between the ages of 20 and 29. The Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation is expecting recovery in the state and the country to take 2 years. The agency briefed lawmakers on the economic outlook on Tuesday. Amy Reed shows us what the secretary thinks will get us to recovery the fastest.
When the legislature asked for this report back in the middle of April, I don't think anybody knew that we were still going to be in the depths of this crisis that we are. And so, we're still learning about the impacts and we're still experiencing them.
Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation Secretary Missy Hughes sees now as good a time as any to start planning for recovery. Her agency's report details in about 150 pages the impact of the coronavirus on the state's economy and what steps we can take to get it back on track. The report estimates it will take at least 2 years to recover economically, but Hughes said that timeline requires planning and action, starting with the cause of the problems.
All of us acting together, social distancing, hand washing, and wearing masks is what's going to make this economy recover the fastest and the strongest.
From there, she lays out priorities like getting broadband access to the whole state to support schools this fall and getting everyone back to work. But for sectors especially hurt, like the service industry, not all jobs are expected to come back. For that, she said the state should train workers to take over where they're needed.
Our manufacturers are still looking for employees. Back in the beginning of March, we had 3% unemployment, and industry was crying for people. So now we've got people. Let's get them the right skills, and then they can move into those slots.
There will be limited resources for the state to use with decreased tax revenue to fund state spending. But Hughes said that's why there needs to be a discussion on where to go from here. She hopes the report will help fuel that. Amy Reed, News 3 Now.
This report was given to lawmakers and the governor. We reached out to the Assembly and Senate leadership as well as the governor to see what they might implement. The Assembly Speaker said Republicans will look at the report and discuss if there are opportunities to move forward.
In just 24 hours, more than 50,000 new COVID-19 cases were reported nationwide. That's the most of any single day so far. And the governor of Texas has now issued a new mandatory face mask policy. Governor Greg Abbott ordering residents in counties with 20 or more COVID-19 cases to wear a face covering. His reversal on masks comes as Texas reported nearly 8,000 new cases today alone. Florida also saw a record-setting 10,000 new cases compared to a month ago when it was only over 600. A surge in cases in the LA region has prompted the University of Southern California to drop plans to have undergraduate students back in the classroom this fall. According to a letter from USC, a revised class schedule expected in about a week will show that a majority of undergrad classes will only be offered online. Only 10 to 20% of classes will actually be in person, and most of those are involving hands-on work. Former 2012 Republican presidential candidate Herman Cain is receiving receiving treatment for coronavirus at an Atlanta area hospital. According to a statement released today, Kane developed symptoms serious enough that he required hospitalization. He was informed on Monday that he tested positive. Kane, one of the surrogates at President Trump's June 20th rally in Tulsa, but his spokesperson says they don't know where he contracted the virus.
Tomorrow, President Trump will join thousands of people attending a fireworks show at Mount Rushmore to celebrate the 4th of July. The South Dakota governor says it will be a mask-optional event and, quote, "We will not be social distancing," end quote. On the eve of that night, the chairman of the Cheyenne River Sioux tribe is calling for the removal of the Mount Rushmore National Memorial, arguing that it is carved in an area that is considered sacred land to natives. The monument is carved into the Black Hills. In the Fort Laramie Treaty of 1868, signed amidst ongoing conflicts between natives and Western expansion settlers, the U.S. recognized Black Hills as part of the Great Sioux Reservation. Something to keep an eye out for this weekend. NASCAR driver Corey LaJoie will run the number 32 car with a Trump 2020 paint scheme during this Sunday's Brickyard 400 at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Patriots of America Political Action Committee, supporting President Trump's re-election bid, is sponsoring the car for 9 races through NASCAR's 2020 season.
Hugh Downs, one of the most versatile broadcasters who became one of the most familiar faces on TV, has passed away. His family says he died yesterday of natural causes at his home in Scottsdale, Arizona. He worked on NBC's Today and Tonight shows, the game show Concentration, and of course co-hosted the ABC show 2020 with Barbara Walters and the PBS series Over Easy. Hugh Downs, 99 years old. Still to come tonight, we'll go back to Dana for your full holiday weekend first warn forecast. But first, caught on camera, serving as a warning about illegal fireworks use as a house catches fire. That story up next.
It's time to celebrate at Furniture and Appliance Mart's Stars and Stripes event. Save up to 50% off all appliances, plus 18 months financing with no minimum purchase, and free doorstep drop-off from Wisconsin's own Furniture and Appliance Mart inside Ashley Home Store off the Beltline.
America, we want to help get you back to it. And here's how, with the Ford Promise. Visit your Ford dealer. Finance a new, certified pre-owned or used vehicle through Ford Credit, and if you lose your job, you can return it for up to 1 year from the day you bought it. You can also get 0% APR financing for 72 months across the Ford lineup. Let us help get you back to it with the Ford Promise.
Save big money on your next project with 11% off everything now at Menards. Reveal the true beauty of wood with Pittsburgh Paramount Advanced Stain and Sealant in one. UV, water, and mildew resistant. All 11% off. Timbercrest Premium double 4-inch siding is 15% thicker than standard vinyl siding with a natural wood grain appearance. Right now, get 11% off. Stop waiting and start saving with 11% off everything now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Getting your air ducts thoroughly cleaned takes the trained professionals at Stanley Steamer using the most powerful equipment to get the most powerful results. Our equipment goes deep inside your ducts, removing years of dirt, pet hair, allergens, even dust mites. Unlike other air duct cleaning companies, Stanley Steamer cleans your entire system. Just look at how much dirt can be removed. Call today for a free inspection and save $50 on a cleaning.
Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me.
I solemnly swear that I will support the veterans of the
United States Armed Forces.
I will defend the Constitution
against all enemies. That I will commit
to ensuring they are
not forgotten.
And I will enable veterans to live the same life of opportunity
they have provided me. So help me God.
Salute massive savings at Ashley Home Store's Stars and Stripes event. Save up to 60% off. Plus, take a bonus 10% off our sale prices at checkout. And interest-free financing for 3 years on top of our very best deals. Ashley Home Store. This is home.
Friday morning, Chris Reese says everything you need to know about the forecast headed into the 4th of July weekend.
And with new regulations in place for Dane County restaurants, a new outdoor program starting Friday could see a surge.
We'll see you starting at 4:30.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Welcome back. A warning this year from UW Health emergency workers urging people to be safe this weekend, specifically with those fireworks. Every year, UW Health says it sees several people who are injured, sometimes seriously, around the 4th of July. They are reminding people alcohol and fireworks don't mix. When handling fireworks, wear protective coverings like gloves or goggles. Never hold fireworks in your hand when lighting. If a firework fails to light the first time, do not relight it, and be sure to keep a large water source nearby. In Brooklyn, New York, the city's fire marshal has arrested a man for arson after illegal fireworks led to a house fire. This incident was captured on video. You can see the group setting off the fireworks when one enters the neighbor's home. The fire grows and eventually gets out of control. In the last 9 days, fire marshals have arrested 17 people and confiscated approximately around $40,000 worth of illegal fireworks. And here's something you do not see every day. A truck driver this morning in Louisiana captured this video of a small plane, presumably in need of making an emergency landing, pass over the truck and make a clean landing on the highway. There was no immediate word on the reason for this impromptu landing or the condition of the pilot or any passengers.
Walmart is converting 160 of its store parking lots in the U.S. into drive-in movie theaters. The retailer announced today that films will begin in August, with many traditional movie theaters remaining closed across the country. Drive-ins have seen a resurgence in popularity, and the Walmart drive-in theaters will run through October and will offer car-side food and drink service as well. Locations and a list of films to be shown have yet to be released. Some kids in lacrosse are trying to do their part to make a difference. Alistair Davis, his sister Henrietta, and their mom have set up what they call the Market on Madison Street. They sell homemade items, including masks, wreaths, and even painted rocks with encouraging messages. Each week, the profits go to a different cause. The causes have included the local Humane Society and Black Lives Matter.
I just like donating. And, this is a rough time, coronavirus. Yeah.
Oh, since they opened up, they have already raised more than $600.
Good for them. And here's meteorologist Dana Fulton with a check of our hot forecast.
Hot and humid outside, but this is pretty usual or pretty on track with what we've at least had for the last few years around the 4th of July. Looking back at our last 5 4th of Julys, the coolest in 2016 when high temperatures barely got to the mid-70s. But the last 2 years, we have seen high temperatures of the low 90s, and that's what we are expecting for this Saturday. Rain coming through for the last 2 years, though, and that is certainly not in the forecast for Saturday. Right now, our radar is quiet overnight. We'll continue to see partly cloudy skies. It's going to be another mild night. Tomorrow, there will be a slight chance for an afternoon or early evening shower or thunderstorm. The weekend looks mostly dry, and then the warm trend just continuing on into next week and the following weekend. Likely into the following week as well. It's a very summery July trend right now. Partly cloudy overnight. Tomorrow will start off partly sunny. In the afternoon, really between about 2 and 5, we have the chance for an isolated shower or thunderstorm to pass through. Most of the area will stay dry. The good news, when these showers pass through, kind of zaps the humidity out for the rest of the evening. Those showers come through, and then by 9, 10 o'clock, we're looking at a dry sky overnight. Mostly sunny for Saturday. It should be a really nice 4th of July. Again, very summery outside, just a little warm, a little humid. Temperature-wise, it's very likely that we will be trending above average as we look at our 6 to 10-day outlook, and our 8 to 14-day outlook also very likely for all of the Midwest, the eastern half of the country stretching into the plains. Our models really agreeing that our temperatures are going to stay warm outside. We do still have alert days in the forecast for Saturday and Sunday. High temperatures will be in the low 90s. Those heat index readings will be creeping to the mid to upper 90s, potentially getting towards the triple digits. So because of this, make sure you're staying hydrated with water. If you're spending any long period of time outside, sunscreen certainly a good idea, and having a good way to keep your body cool, finding some shade or maybe heading inside for just a little bit. Tomorrow, again, partly sunny skies. Temperatures only dropping to the mid-60s for overnight lows, and we quickly warm up after sunrise. High temperatures will be in the upper 80s, so another day with above average temperatures and those heat index readings climbing into the 90s. Alert days for Saturday and Sunday. We will have mostly sunny skies on Saturday and partly sunny skies on Sunday. High temperatures stay in the low 90s on Monday with partly sunny skies. There is a slight chance for a shower or thunderstorm late in the afternoon on Monday. And then a better opportunity for rain stretching from Tuesday through Friday. Showers and thunderstorms likely in the afternoon, but there will be plenty of dry hours for each day. The rain chances are going to be a total soaker, just coming through during the heat of the day, and then again zapping some humidity out for the evening. The following weekend, the temperature trend still in the upper 80s and likely heading that way as we get into the middle of July. So summer settling in and keeping us very warm and very soupy outside. But with all the sun coming through, it is a good reminder. Just a nice light sunscreen would be a really good idea for this weekend.
I can't emphasize enough to be safe under these conditions, especially with everything going on. Remember the water and
Remember
the
the water.
SPF.
Yes, and keeping an eye on other people too, because sometimes you don't realize that you may be looking flush or the little ones might be reacting negatively to the heat.
Well.
Yes, your pets as well. So just being mindful of others would be a good idea.
All right, thank you.
Just heading sports, J.J. Watt added to the Big Ten Network's all-decade team. Zach takes a look back at just how good 2010 was for the former Badger. That's next in sports.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Happy 4th of July Super Sale, happening this week at the Brothers Maine. Come in now for more savings on more brands like Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, and Amana. We make upgrading your home more convenient at Maine with up to 18 months of 0% financing and expert-free delivery. Get more at the 4th of July Super Sale. More selection, more savings, and more satisfaction. And happy birthday, USA, from the Brothers Maine, your local store for more since 1938.
Hey guys, what's up?
Hey.
Ready to go?
Yeah. Sorry we're late.
Don't worry, we'll still make it to the concert.
This is gonna be awesome. There we go.
You guys know they already put out a new album, right?
What?
Yeah.
No.
It's been all over the radio.
Wait, you haven't heard it yet? No, I haven't heard it yet. Seriously.
Play the second song. It's the best one, right?
Of course it is.
Not wearing your seatbelt endangers you and the lives of anyone riding with you.
Didn't you just wear your seatbelt?
She's not moving.
Buckle up. Every ride, in every seat.
Incredible deals, huge markdowns, plus free doorstep shipping on everything. What a sale. The 4th of July sale at Slumberland Furniture.
America, we want to help get you back to it. And here's how, with the Ford Promise. Visit your Ford dealer. Finance a new, certified pre-owned or used vehicle through Ford Credit, and if you lose your job, you can return it for up to 1 year from the day you bought it. You can also get 0% APR financing for 72 months across the Ford lineup. Let us help get you back to it with the Ford Promise.
If you have a fear of overpaying, you have FOOP. But don't worry, US Cellular has your back with the Samsung Galaxy S25G. Free when you switch, plus no activation fees. Stream without disruption, capture and post without restriction, and do it all without FOOP. Switch and get a free Samsung Galaxy S25G at US Cellular. Choose fair.
Mom's gonna kill us.
Gorilla Super Glues. Of course.
Gorilla has a fix for every project. Original brush and nozzle and ultra control gel for the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
Work smarter. Use the cloud to securely print, scan, and collaborate. GI Office Technologies, helping businesses like yours.
Get the facts with Reality Check, only on News 3 Now.
From walk-on to three-time NFL Defensive Player of the Year to co-host of Ultimate Tag, J.J. Watt has pretty much done it all. And today, he added to his list of accolades. The former Badger was one of 4 defensive linemen named at the Big Ten's All-Decade Team. And 2010 was a pretty good year for J.J. First-team All-Big Ten honors, 21 tackles for loss, and 7 sacks to go along with a lot impact trophy. Former Badger running back Jonathan Taylor was at it again, giving back to the Madison community. And his Jump Around Give Back campaign with UW Credit Union was a hit. The duo teamed up and raised $10,000 for United Way's COVID-19 Urgent Needs Fund, with half of that going straight into United Way of Dane County. And for Taylor, he's just happy that he was able to help.
It's going to cover a lot of things, and that is really what we need right now in the heat of this pandemic. So again, I want to thank everyone for volunteering, donating, opening new checking accounts. Just knowing that a lot of these things are going to be put in place is just the right thing to do right now. There's a lot of people that need help, and I'm just proud that I'm a part of it.
Before the NBA season was put on pause, the Bucks were rolling through their competition. They had the best record in the league and already wrapped up a spot in the playoffs. The challenge now is to do all that again, but in Orlando, and then achieve their goal of winning an NBA title. One that the Bucks feel might be more difficult than they expected back in February or early March.
It's going to be the toughest championship you could ever win. Because the circumstances are really, really tough right now.
The challenges of this season, this pandemic, everything that's happening in our country, the ability for a team to go back and compete and play against, the other 22 teams in the NBA and come out as a champion. In my mind, it'll be more special.
And that's it for sports. We'll be right back.
It's time to celebrate at Furniture and Appliance Mart's Stars and Stripes event. Save up to 50% off all appliances, plus 18 months financing with no minimum purchase, and free doorstep drop-off from Wisconsin's own Furniture and Appliance Mart inside Ashley Home Store off the Beltline.
Here's to the road ahead. Trust Toyota to be here for you.
Now every Toyota hybrid vehicle is available with 0% financing. With fewer stops per gas, Toyota hybrids give you the confidence to go farther. See your dealer or shop and buy online. Right now, you can lease a new 2020 Toyota RAV4 Hybrid for $239 a month.
All from the brand you trust, today and tomorrow. Toyota.
Seeing the joy that people feel when they share a meal with family and friends, that's why we do this. The laughter of kids around the table, the thrill of families driving through for a treat, the delight of not having to cook, and instead letting us safely serve you. It all comes back to taking care of each other. And for that, we'll be here with your favorites, and always a smile.
Get a $150 MasterCard during Steinhaffel's 4th of July sale when you take advantage of 0% financing for 60 months. Now's the time to save 35% store-wide plus an extra 5% off. On top of that, free no-contact shipping. Get amazing deals priced to sell out like any size Sealy, $99. Twin bed, $299. 5-piece patio set or a 7-piece dining set, $399. Power lift chair or these sofas, $499. Hurry, Steinhaffel's 4th of July sale ends soon.
On the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again. Life I love is making music with my friends. And I can't wait to get on the road again. On the road again.
The open road is open again. And wherever you're headed, Choice Hotels is there. Book direct at choicehotels.com.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me.
I solemnly swear that I will support the veterans of the
United States Armed Forces.
I will defend the Constitution
Against all enemies. That I will commit
to ensuring they are
not forgotten.
And I will enable veterans to live the same life of opportunity
they have provided me. So help me God.
Salute massive savings at Ashley Home Store's Stars and Stripes event. Save up to 60% off. Plus, take a bonus 10% off our sale prices at checkout. And interest-free financing for 3 years on top of our very best deals. Ashley Home Store. This is home.
Go to Amazon.com skills to enable Channel 3000 news briefs. You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Finally, Italy tonight, the statue of the Christ the Redeemer in Rio de Janeiro was illuminated in a special projection overnight as a tribute to COVID-19 victims. The initiative aimed to bring hope and to humanize the critical time the whole world is going through, honoring all lives lost and also thanking essential workers and volunteers for acting during this crisis. More than 60,000 people have died in Brazil due to COVID-19, with at least 1.4 million cases confirmed.
Let's go to meteorologist Dana Fulton. She has a final check of the forecast.
Our humid and warm conditions continuing on. Tomorrow, high temperatures will be in the upper 80s. Partly sunny skies and a slight chance for a shower thunderstorm in the afternoon. We have alert days in the forecast for your 4th of July Saturday and for Sunday. Mostly sunny skies on Saturday, partly sunny skies on Sunday with high temperatures in the low 90s for both days. Monday will stay in the low 90s. The rest of the week, high temperatures will be in the upper 80s with better chances for showers and thunderstorms each day. We'll see a little more moisture creep in for Tuesday through Friday. Plenty of dry hours mixed in as well, but it's just going to be a very July-like stretch for us.
All right, Dana, thank you. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10.
Do something good, be well, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.
Now, a WISC-TV editorial with editorial director Neil Heinan.
We enter into a 4th of July weekend unlike any other. And yet, believe it or not, we still have much to celebrate. We have the freedom to demand change and the freedom to make change happen. We have the freedom to seek out information and a range of ideas and the freedom to speak about that which we believe and question that about which we are not sure. We have the freedom to stay safe if we choose, and the freedom to help others enjoy their freedom to stay safe if we choose. It would be best if we did not this year celebrate these freedoms and the rest we hold dear in the traditional manner. That can wait. With freedom, after all, comes responsibilities. That doesn't mean we can't safely celebrate. We can and we should. We have the freedom to do what's right.